This is Andrew bringing you another Keyforge deck review. This one is one I bought from somebody online, and I'm really glad it worked out the way it did because I've been on this sort of kick in the few online trades and deals that I've been involved in, where I wanted to just go the trusting route, act like the overly trusting sap who will just send friends and family, send the money friends and family, or throw something in the mail and just hope the other person's put their stuff in the mail. And it's worked out great. But this one, it didn't come. And so I messaged the person involved and I said, hey, I haven't seen it yet. And they said, well, I'm shipping from Canada. Could take a while. Just be patient. And I said, oh, okay. So I waited a couple more days. And then they actually emailed me back and said, hey, you know what? The post office messed up. And, it ended up returned to me. So, do you want an extra deck to go with it as a sorry, or how do you want to do this? And they were really ready to just take responsibility for the problem, even though it didn't sound like it was their fault. So, so I said, hey, it's fine. Just send it to me. I'm excited about it. You don't need to do anything extra. So they did, and I got it, and I'm happy. So anyway, thanks community. Yeah, I hope we can mostly behave that way. So anyway, this is Lone Doom Spawn of Text Vial. It is Sanctum Shadows Untamed. Yeah, and as you've seen the ones I've bought recently, I was on this kick to get certain things in Shadows, kind of over-indexed on Too Much to Protect. So spoilers, it'll have that. But this has a couple other cards in Untamed especially that I'm really excited about playing with. So I'll show you that as we get there. Alright, so let's look at the Sanctum first. We have a Blinding Light. That's pretty... Oh, did I say the name yet? Yeah, Lone Doom Spawn of Text File. So Blinding Light gives you a bonus amber, and you choose a house and you stun each creature of that house. Really nice, soft board control. Then we have Chow the Safeguard. 4 power, 2 armor human knight with deploy and taunt. And we have 2 of these. They're really great for protecting our weaker stuff. Yeah, very nice. Healing Blast is an action with a bonus amber. You fully heal a creature, and if you healed 4 or more damage this way, you gain 2 amber. That's pretty cool. Obviously, it'll work best if we have some bigger creatures. We don't have anything big enough to get that extra 2 yet. Protect the Weak is an upgrade with a bonus amber. It gives a creature +1 armor and taunt. Again, nice for making a bigger thing, protect smaller things. And we have 2 copies of those. So yeah, pretty useful. Smite lets you ready and fight with a ready creature, and you deal 2 damage to the attacked creature's neighbors. We have 2 of those, so that's going to give us some nice board control. Notice we have a lot of 2-ofs here so far. 3 2-ofs already. We have Baron Mengevin. This is a 6 power human knight with an armor, and after you discard a Sanctum card from your hand, Baron Mengevin captures 1. This can sometimes... It's pretty decent amber control. It's big. It's also a great target for Protect the Weak, and potentially a good target for a Healing Blast. And gives you some amber control in a pinch. Barrister Joya is a 5 power human knight with 1 armor, and she says enemy creatures cannot reap. That's also nice soft board control. Hadroth's Wall is an artifact that gives each friendly flank creature +2 power. Yeah, also really nice here, right? And this helps more things be potentially eligible for a Healing Blast. Radiant Truth gives you a bonus amber and says stun each enemy creature not on a flank. More soft board control. So really nice. That's only really useful if your opponent's board is getting big, but in that case it's incredibly useful. All right, so this is I'll just say really quick. This Sanctum setup here has pretty decent amber generation. I mean, 5 bonus amber. That's pretty good. Some big creatures. Some strong board control mechanisms, taunt, armor, stuns, plus power, can't reap, capture, the smites are great. So, and potentially 7 amber off the actions and upgrades if you hit the Healing Blast. and you have a decent chance between all the other stuff going on. So, yeah, pretty good amber generation there, and board control. All right, in shadows we have Bad Penny. This is a 1-power human thief that has destroyed. Return Bad Penny to your hand. Lamindra, and by the way, Bad Penny can in this deck can be 3-power because of the Hadroth's Wall, so potentially actually better than normal. Having a 3-power thing that comes back to you is actually pretty cool. Lamindra is 1-power elf thief with deploy and elusive, and Lamindra's neighbors also get elusive. Life for Life gives you a bonus amber, sacrifices your own creature, and you deal 6 damage to a creature. Pretty good. Miasma gives you a bonus amber, and your opponent skips the Forge a Key step on their next turn, which can be a very strong effect, especially if you combine it with a Too Much to Protect, or Ronnie. Ronnie Risk Clocks is a 2-power human thief. After you play him, you steal an amber, but if your opponent has 7 or more, you steal 2 instead. We have 2 of those. We have a Bone Rot Venom. It gives you a bonus amber. It's an upgrade, and it gives the creature after this. Well, it says after this creature is used, deal 2 damage to it. Good way to get rid of somebody else's annoying creature. It's also a good way to get rid of your own Brend. Brend is a 3-power elf thief with skirmish, and after you play him, your opponent gains 1. When he's destroyed, you steal 3. So we'll come back to that. Dusk Runner is an upgrade that gives a creature Reap, steal 1. Oubliette has you purge a creature with power 3 or lower. And Too Much to Protect gives you a bonus amber, and you steal all but 6 of your opponent's amber. Snecklifter is a 2-power elf thief. When you play Snecklifter, you take control of an enemy artifact, and while it's under your control, if it does not belong to one of your 3 houses, it's considered to be of House Shadows. So, really quick, okay, let's look through this. On the Shadow side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, just 4 bonus amber pips, but let's assume we're going to get at least 1 on average off the Brend. We're going to get 1 off of each of the Ronnies. That brings us up to like 7, and 2 of those are steel. It's probably going to be better than that. And these cards actually work together pretty well. So I mentioned Brend could potentially have Bone Rot Venom put on him, and that means that you're going to be able to get some uses out of him and be doing the damage, right? But also, if sometimes you can play Brend, let's say when your opponent has 6 amber, and at that point Ronnie is going to steal 2. So there are a lot of points where you can play the Brend and have the extra amber go straight back to you, and even not counting towards that 3. With Too Much to Protect, if you play Brend right before playing Too Much to Protect, then if you burst your opponent up past 6, you're getting it right back that way, and then you can still steal 3 more by killing the Brend. Yeah, so there are good ways here. Putting Dusk Runner on Brend can be pretty cool because it puts your opponent in a really bad situation, where if they leave Brend on the table, you're going to be able to steal 1 with him, but if they kill him, you're gonna steal 3. So, and Miasma can sort of elongate the periods of time where they have amber to spend. Because if you're playing against Brend, well, Oubliette can be one strategy to get rid of him, and if you know your opponent has Oubliette, then maybe you want him on the flank so he gets that Hadroth's Wall benefit. But something like an Oubliette might be a good strategy against him because you avoid the steal. If you're trying to kill your opponent's Brend. Your opponent's going to also be trying to kill him when they have no amber. But being able to elongate the amount of time when they're stuck with a lot of amber with cards like Miasma can be really beneficial. And Snecklifter is just fantastic too. Depending on if your opponent has good artifacts, then this becomes a very, very good card. Okay, let's now look at the Untamed setup, and this is actually pretty good. And here's where there's some. I think the Shadows setup is very good. Like, it's one of the best Shadow setups I can imagine in AOA. I'd actually usually rather have Brend than, say, Swindle, because I don't like burning a whole turn on Swindle. I don't like the whole Alpha Omega thing. It can be good, but it annoys me. Okay, But the Untamed, there's some cool stuff here that you'll see as well. So Darna is a 2-power elf witch. And when you play Darna, you gain 1 amber for each damaged friendly creature. Well, we probably have some, right? Because of the Hadroth's Wall, because of just the big creatures that are here. There's a good chance we have some damaged creatures. So that can generate us some good amber. And when Darna reaps, you heal 2 damage from a friendly creature, which can be cool. Fanghouse is a 3-power beast with Assault 3 and Hazardous 3. This is amazing for dealing with those pesky, elusive cards. And just think, Smite onto Fanghouse is very, very good. Glimmer is a 1-power fairy with Alpha, but after you play Glimmer, you return a card from your discard pile to your hand. That's really nice. We have a Regrowth, which gives us a bonus amber and lets us return a creature from your discard pile to your hand. Also very nice. Save the Pack will destroy damaged creatures and give you a chain. We may not have a good use for that here, but we'll see. Sometimes it can come in handy. If you do get it with the They're Everywhere, that can be quite a potent combo. It's essentially a one-sided board wipe. They're Everywhere gains you an amber. You deal 2 damage to each enemy flank creature and 1 to each enemy creature that's not on a flank. So if you have these cards both in your hand, play They're Everywhere, and then save the Pack, probably wipe to your opponent's side of the board, which for 1 chain is pretty good. We have 2 They're Everywhere, increasing the likelihood of it working out that way. Fogbank gives you a bonus amber and says your opponent can't use creatures to fight during their next turn. It's pretty good soft board control. Grasping Vines gives, and if you play that in conjunction with Barrister Joya, then you're essentially saying your opponent can't use their creatures next turn, unless they have actions, right? But you're really limiting your opponent if you have Barrister Joya and manage to play Fogbank. Grasping Vines gives a bonus amber and lets you return up to 3 artifacts to their owner's hands, which is very good. Can be very good. And then we have Pose Pixies, and this is a cool card. So Pose Pixies is a 1-power fairy with elusive, and it says that amber stolen or captured from your pool is taken from the common supply instead. And it's a rare. This means that if your opponent captures amber, it actually comes from the common pool instead of your supply, which means they're essentially giving you amber in the long run. They're giving you more amber. And if they steal, they're just gaining instead of taking it from you. So this is an amazing, very, very strong amber protection card. It's important to recognize what this doesn't protect against, which are cards like Anahita the Trader, which says your opponent gives you their remaining amber. Cards like Interdimensional Graft, which also says your opponent gives you the amber, or cards that make your opponent lose amber, like Doorstep to Heaven, Burn the Stockpile, etc. So this doesn't protect you from everything, but it protects you from steal and capture, which are, I think, the 2 more common amber control effects. So it's very strong, and we have 2 of them in here, and that is kind of a crazy thing in this deck. And so what makes it extra crazy, because it is really good. This deck doesn't have like a Forge outright. Miasma can sort of be a Forge, almost like a key cheat if you use it right, but we don't have like a key cheat card in here. So we need to be able to protect that amber, and the Pose Pixie just does such a great job. And with Hadroth's Wall, these can be 3-power with and with all there are 4 different taunt effects in here, and a lot of stun and board control. So if you're controlling the board, taunting, and you have 2 of these, they just tend to actually stick on the board in a way that 1-powers don't normally, but having 2 of them and so many ways to protect them, they actually tend to stick on the board. Sometimes because people underestimate their value, but also I think because there's just a lot of good stuff protecting them. Alright, so the last card in here is a little less exciting. It's a Roxador. This is a 4-power beast with Skirmish. It only does 2 damage when fighting, but it stuns the attacked creature. Yeah, and that's pretty good, actually. It's pretty good. More like soft board control there. I'd rather have like a big twig than that. I like the big twig effect better, but it's fine. Yeah, and here we have, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably more from the Darna. So we're really like, we're into pretty high expected amber off of all these cards. Like, I would say it's pretty reasonable to expect to generate at least 20 amber by the time you've worked your way through the deck, from play effects and bonus amber. And then it's also pretty likely that you've been able to keep some creatures on the board and use them to reap. So it all adds up and makes it a pretty fast deck. And then the Pose Pixies can slow down opponents' decks quite a bit. There's just a lot of ways to also slow your opponent down. So it has artifact control. It really, I'm not sure what it doesn't have, to be honest. It does not have straight out board wipes, but again, these two cards together kind of do it. So yeah, it's pretty good, and I got it for a very reasonable price. I think with shipping, it ended up being something around $20. So very reasonable, and I want to do more testing with this. I think this might be actually Vault Tour worthy. I have had nothing but wins online so far, but I want to play it, against some real people and get some real experience in. I'm not saying people online aren't real, but you just hit different stuff there. So anyway, that is Lone Doom Spawn of Text File. I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making it, and I hope you'll get out and forge some keys.